The last part of our chapter is on burns. So, a kind of a quick and dirty way to estimate the level of the burn is how much of the tissue is actually damaged. Tissue damage can be caused by a lot of different things, certainly caused by heat, electricity, radiation, or certain chemicals. And the damage is caused by denaturation of proteins, which destroys the cells. So the first immediate threat, the worst thing that clinicians are worried about is the immediate threat of dehydration, loss of fluid, and with that fluid, of course, is electrolytes as well. This can be so very devastating because it could lead to things like renal shutdown, circulatory shock, could lead to sepsis, all kinds of bad things. To evaluate burns, what's used is what's called the rule of nines. And it's called that because it basically breaks the body up into 11 sections, with each section representing 9% of the body surface, except for the genitals, which account for 1%. And it's just used to estimate the volume of fluid loss. So as we can see here, 18% is the anterior trunk, 18% would be the posterior trunk, so that'd be 36%. Then we would have the 9% for each, the front of the leg, 9% for the back of the leg, that would be 18, another 18 for the other leg. And then basically 4.5% for the front and back of the arms, so we have another 18 there. And for the total head, we have another 9%, giving us 99%. And the final 1% would be the perineum. Also, the burn is obviously much worse if it's close to the mouth or the nose or the eyes, somewhere where internal tissue could be burnt. So the stages of burns are shown here. First degree burns are only affecting the outer layer of the skin, the epidermis. So the skin may be red and painful, but you don't have blisters and long term damage is rare. So it's epidermal damage only. There is some swelling and pain, but no blisters. Blisters only occur once we get to second degree burns, and that's because there is a separation between the epidermis and the dermis. So it's epidermal and upper dermal damage. Blisters appear, and they're called partial thickness burns because only the epidermis and upper dermis are involved. So we see a first degree burn here and a second degree burn here with the blisters being shown. Third degree burn is much more serious. It involves the entire thickness of the skin, and this injury destroys the epidermis, all layers of your skin, including the dermis. But instead of turning red, it may turn other colors like gray white, cherry red, or blackened, or brown. And it doesn't hurt at the beginning, but that's because the nerve endings have been damaged. So no edema is seen. It's not painful initially, but once those nerve endings grow back, then it's awful, awful pain that needs treatment with morphine. So skin grafting is usually necessary, where they take healthy skin from another part of the body or from a donor, and they graft it onto the burnt patient. So those are the first and second degree burns and the third degree burn. And there's actually a fourth degree burn. A fourth degree burn is the deepest and most severe burns. It's definitely potentially life threatening. A lot of people do not survive this, and the burns destroy all layers of the skin, as well as bones, muscles, and tendons. And you can see in this poor person here, there might be some third degree burns here, but these are definitely fourth degree burns. It's an awful, awful situation. So burns are considered critical if greater than 25% of the body has second-degree burns, greater than 10% of the body has third-degree burns, and if any place like the face, the hands, or the feet bear third-degree burns. So treatment is usually debridement, which is removal of the burned skin, antibiotics, temporary covering, and if they do skin grafts, if it's that severe, the patients are in an oxygen tent to survive.